In our fast-paced, ever-demanding world, it's easy to feel lost and overwhelmed by responsibilities and the constant pressure to meet expectations. Many of us search for a guiding light, a philosophy or framework to bring clarity and strength to our lives. Stoicism, an ancient philosophy of resilience, self-discipline, and wisdom, offers precisely that. Imagine living where you stand firm, like a mountain, unshaken by the storms of life, admired and respected by those around you. The principles of Stoic philosophy are not just theories. They are practical tools to help you unlock your inner strength, build self-mastery, and, ultimately, be prioritized by others. In this article, we will walk through 10 timeless Stoic rules that, when applied, can reshape your mindset, relationships, and overall sense of purpose. These principles can make you stand out, not by seeking attention, but by quietly commanding respect and admiration. Do you dare to discover how Stoicism can transform your life? Join us on this journey of wisdom and self-empowerment. And if you're ready to dive deeper into the world of Stoicism and personal growth, don't forget to subscribe to our channel for more insightful content. Let's begin. Principle 1. Embrace mystery. Don't reveal everything. In a world that constantly encourages openness and oversharing, the first principle of Stoicism invites us to take a step back and reconsider. Don't reveal everything. There's power in keeping part of yourself reserved, creating an air of mystery that draws others in. The more you hold back, the more people will lean in to learn who you are. Mystery is not about deception, but about self-protection and wisdom. As Epictetus said, we have 2 ears and 1 mouth so that we can listen twice as much as we speak. This principle reminds us to observe more and express less, cultivating a sense of calm and depth. When you keep specific thoughts and emotions private, you protect yourself from vulnerability and allow others to build a sense of respect and curiosity around you. Take inspiration from significant figures like Jesus, who often spoke in parables, allowing listeners to reflect and uncover more profound truths. This strategic use of mystery in communication only amplified the impact of his teachings. Similarly, think about someone in your life who commands respect. Chances are, they maintain a certain level of discretion, keeping a part of themselves beyond immediate reach. By embracing this Stoic principle, you safeguard your boundaries while fostering respect in relationships. Let others discover you at a gradual pace, and in doing so, you'll cultivate an aura of quiet strength and wisdom. Principle 2. Create your happiness. The third Stoic principle reminds us that happiness is an inside job. True happiness doesn't depend on external achievements, recognition, or the approval of others. It comes from within. Relying on outside forces for joy only leads to disappointment when things don't go as planned. Instead, Stoicism teaches us to cultivate inner peace rooted in self-awareness and emotional control. By focusing on what you can control, your thoughts, reactions, and mindset, you build a stable foundation for happiness. External success may come and go, but your inner contentment remains steady. Take inspiration from figures like Jesus, who found joy and peace in his mission and connection with God, unaffected by worldly recognition or material gain. His happiness was rooted in something deeper, something internal. Think of people who seem unshakably happy no matter what life throws at them. These individuals have learned to create happiness independently of external circumstances. I have a friend who practices this daily. No matter how tough things get, she always finds joy in small moments, whether it's a quiet morning or a simple act of kindness. Her happiness doesn't come from what she has, but from how she chooses to see the world. Stoicism encourages us to adopt this mindset. Appreciate the present instead of chasing after fleeting rewards and enjoy life's simple moments. Whether through gratitude, meditation, or simply being present, happiness can be cultivated from within. Once you stop depending on external sources of joy, you'll find a profound sense of peace and resilience. Ultimately, happiness is a choice, a state of mind you can create. Principle 3. Be valuable and let them invest in you. The fourth Stoic principle centers on building your value so that others naturally invest in you. Rather than constantly seeking approval or validation, focus on cultivating your worth through knowledge, skills, and personal growth. When you are precious, people will recognize it and be drawn to invest their time, energy, and resources in you. This is not about arrogance or self-centeredness. It's about continuous self-improvement. Ask yourself, am I becoming the best version of myself every day? By investing in your personal growth, you position yourself as someone worthy of admiration and respect. Others are more likely to invest in you when they see your value in their lives, whether in personal relationships or professional settings. Look at the example of Oprah Winfrey. She didn't just build a career, she built herself. Through relentless self-improvement and determination, she became an influential force, not just in media but in the lives of millions. Oprah's value stems from her achievements and her ability to inspire and contribute to others' growth. Similarly, think of Jesus, whose healing and helping the vulnerable made people follow him wholeheartedly. His value was evident through his service to others. To apply this principle, focus on improving yourself daily. Learn new skills, practice virtues, and serve others. Whether through professional achievements or personal acts of kindness, these efforts make you stand out as someone worthy of investment. By becoming someone who constantly adds value, you naturally attract respect and admiration. Others will be eager to invest in you because they recognize the worth you bring into their lives. Remember, the key is to work on yourself continuously. In doing so, the world will invest in you without you having to demand it. Principle 4. Cultivate the fear of losing you. The second Stoic principle encourages us to recognize and maintain our value in every relationship. Create a fear of losing you. It may sound bold, but this principle is about understanding your worth and ensuring others do. People tend to appreciate what they fear losing, and if you demonstrate your value, they will naturally be more mindful of how they treat you. This isn't about arrogance or distancing yourself. It's about self-respect. Epictetus reminds us, never depend on the admiration of others. Your value shouldn't hinge on external approval. Instead, focus on building a presence that is respected, admired, and never taken for granted. Whether in friendships, romantic relationships, or work, maintaining distance or showing you won't always be available makes people think more carefully about how they engage with you. Consider Jesus, whose followers deeply cherished his presence. He maintained an air of majesty and sacredness, making his disciples acutely aware of the weight of his absence. The same is true in modern relationships. When you're always available, people can begin to overlook your value. However, holding back just a little creates space for others to reflect on what your presence truly means to them. This principle applies in the workplace as well. Overeager employees who never refuse tasks can be taken for granted, but those who understand their value and set boundaries tend to be more respected. By upholding your worth, you gain the respect of others and ensure that they treat you according to that value. Remember, it's not about creating distance for the sake of it, but about ensuring that your presence remains cherished. In doing so, you'll cultivate more profound, more meaningful personal and professional relationships. Principle 5. Don't make others the center of your life. The fifth Stoic principle is about maintaining your autonomy and not allowing others to dictate the direction of your life. It's easy to fall into the trap of making someone else, a partner, a friend, or a boss, the central focus of your world. However, Stoicism teaches us that true freedom and fulfillment come from setting goals and not letting anyone else control our actions or emotions. When you make others the center of your life, you become vulnerable to their moods, opinions, and decisions. This can lead to frustration, disappointment, and even a loss of identity. Instead, Stoicism advises us to stay grounded in our purpose and values, much like Jesus, who was unwavering in his mission despite external pressures and distractions. He helped and guided others, but never let anyone steer him off course. In modern life, this principle is just as important. Take Jeff Bezos, the founder of Amazon, for example. Despite immense external pressures, Bezos never allowed others to dictate his decisions. He stayed true to his vision and goals, ultimately creating one of the most successful companies in history. His autonomy was crucial to his success. To apply this in your life, focus on what drives you and set boundaries that protect your mission. This doesn't mean disregarding others, but rather ensuring that your actions and decisions align with your values and objectives. By doing this, you not only protect your well-being, but also create healthier, more balanced relationships with others. Ultimately, your life is your own, and it's essential to steer it toward your purpose, not someone else's. You'll find greater fulfillment and peace by maintaining control over your path. Principle 6. Don't always be ready and waiting. The seventh Stoic principle advises us to avoid constantly being available for others. At the same time, it might seem like a sign of dedication and care, but always being ready and waiting can diminish your value in the eyes of others and lead to burnout. Stoicism teaches that setting boundaries is crucial for maintaining self-respect and preventing exploitation. When you're constantly at someone's beck and call, people may begin to take you for granted, expecting you to always be there without recognizing your effort. This weakens your self-worth and puts you in a position where you're no longer in control of your own time and energy. Instead, Stoicism encourages us to protect our autonomy by knowing when to step back and not being endlessly available. Consider the workplace. If you always say yes to every request and work extra hours without hesitation, your efforts may go unnoticed over time. Your colleagues or boss might begin to assume your availability is a given, which can lead to exploitation. Jesus himself cautioned against constant worry and readiness for others, reminding us that such anxiety leads to a troubled heart and loss of direction. By setting clear boundaries, you protect yourself and signal to others that your time and presence are valuable. Learning to say no when necessary helps preserve your energy and allows you to focus on what truly matters. Being occasionally unavailable can make others more mindful and appreciative of your time and contributions. Ultimately, being always ready and waiting doesn't equal caring more. It often leads to being overlooked and undervalued. By managing your availability wisely, you maintain control over your life and foster respect from those around you. Principle 7. Don't always be the one to start the conversation. The eighth Stoic principle encourages us to rethink the need to always take the lead in communication. While it may feel like initiating conversations is essential to maintaining relationships, constantly doing so can place you in a passive and dependent role. Stoicism teaches us that proper relationship balance comes when both parties are equally invested, including taking turns reaching out. When you're always starting the conversation, it can feel like you're driving the relationship. If the other person doesn't reciprocate, it may lead to frustration and insecurity. Stoicism reminds us to focus on what we can control, giving others the space and opportunity to reach out if they genuinely value the relationship. Think about the best relationships you have in your life. Likely, they involve mutual effort, where both parties are proactive in staying connected. For example, a close friend calls to check on you just as often as you check on them. This balance creates a deeper bond, where both sides show equal interest and investment. Even in his teachings, Jesus demonstrated the importance of listening and allowing others to express themselves rather than always being the one to lead the conversation. By stepping back and not always initiating, you allow others to take the initiative, revealing their genuine interest and commitment. To apply this principle, practice patience in communication. Let others approach you and observe how they respond when they can take the lead. This creates healthier, more balanced relationships and affirms your value, showing that you don't need to chase after others to maintain a connection. Letting others take the initiative shows that they are just as invested in the relationship as you are, creating a stronger and more meaningful connection. Principle 8. Prioritize your own needs first. The sixth Stoic principle emphasizes the importance of taking care of yourself before you can effectively care for others. Many of us fall into the trap of putting everyone else's needs ahead of our own, thinking it's a sign of selflessness. However, Stoicism teaches that you cannot pour from an empty cup. Prioritizing your needs isn't selfish. It's essential for living a balanced, healthy life. You will eventually burn out if you constantly neglect your well-being to serve others. Just as a torch must be fueled to provide light, you must care for your mental, physical, and emotional health to be there for others. Epictetus, one of the great Stoic philosophers, emphasized that caring for yourself is foundational to achieving tranquility and a harmonious life. Consider the words of Jesus, who taught, "Love your neighbor as yourself." Notice the emphasis on yourself. You cannot genuinely love and support others unless you first know how to love and care for yourself. This principle applies in all areas of life, whether making time for regular exercise, eating well, or simply setting boundaries when needed. In practice, this means being intentional about self-care. Make time to rest, recharge, and focus on your growth. Practicing yoga or meditation each morning can help center your mind and prepare you to face the day's challenges. By attending to your needs, you build a solid foundation to be more present and effective when helping others. Remember, self-care is not an indulgence. It's a responsibility. By prioritizing your needs, you maintain the energy and strength necessary to support those around you genuinely. In doing so, you'll improve your quality of life and inspire others to do the same. Principle 9. Don't be too emotionally attached. The ninth Stoic principle highlights the importance of emotional detachment for maintaining balance and inner peace. While it's natural to feel deeply about people and situations, becoming too emotionally attached can cloud your judgment and make you vulnerable to emotional turmoil. Stoicism teaches us that our reactions, not external events, affect us. By learning to control our emotions, we regain control of our lives. When we become overly attached to outcomes or relationships, we often experience unnecessary stress, anxiety, and disappointment when things don't go as expected. Instead of letting emotions dictate our well-being, Stoicism encourages us to maintain emotional distance and focus on what we can control, our actions and responses. As Epictetus said, it's not things that upset us, but our judgments about things. Think of situations where you've invested too much emotionally, whether in a relationship, a job, or a project. When things took a negative turn, how did you feel? Likely, you were overwhelmed and hurt because your emotions were too profoundly tied to the outcome. Maintaining a healthy level of emotional detachment allows you to respond more rationally and with greater resilience. Even Jesus exemplified emotional control. When he spoke about loving your enemies and praying for those who persecute you, he wasn't advocating for emotional attachment to those who harmed you, but rather for a sense of inner peace and self-mastery. It's about rising above emotional reactions and choosing a path of calmness and strength. In your daily life, practicing emotional detachment doesn't mean becoming indifferent. It means recognizing the limits of what you can control and refusing to let external factors rule your emotions. By focusing on your inner state and letting go of what's beyond your reach, you'll find a greater sense of balance, peace, and freedom from emotional overwhelm. Principle 10. Be willing to walk away. The 10th Stoic principle teaches us the power of letting go. Sometimes, the best thing you can do for your growth and well-being is to walk away from situations, relationships, or habits that no longer serve you. Holding on to things that harm you, whether it's a toxic relationship, a job that drains you, or a negative mindset, only weighs you down and prevents you from moving forward. Stoicism emphasizes the importance of self-control and independence, reminding us that we should not let circumstances or people dictate our happiness. As Seneca wisely said, we must give up many things to which we are addicted, considering them to be good. This means recognizing when something has outlived its value and having the courage to step away. Think about when you stayed in a situation you knew wasn't suitable. Maybe it was a relationship that caused more pain than joy or a job that left you unfulfilled. By holding on, you compromised your happiness and blocked new opportunities for growth and fulfillment. Walking away takes strength, but opens the door to a more accessible, meaningful life. Consider the story of Lily, who finally decided to leave after years of enduring a stressful relationship. Though the choice was difficult, she found her life became lighter, and she could focus on her development and goals. This act of walking away wasn't just an escape. It was an act of self-respect and courage. Stoicism teaches that letting go is not a sign of defeat, but a path to liberation. Walking away from what no longer serves you creates space for new opportunities, healthier relationships, and personal growth. Remember, life is full of changes, and embracing the need to let go is essential to live a life of peace, strength, and fulfillment. Conclusion. As we've explored, the 10 principles of Stoic philosophy offer profound insights that can transform how you live and interact with the world. From embracing mystery and protecting your value to creating happiness and learning to let go, these timeless lessons are powerful tools for cultivating inner strength, emotional balance, and meaningful relationships. By applying these principles, you become more resilient, grounded, and respected by others, not through force, but by quietly commanding respect through your actions and presence. Stoicism encourages self-control, personal growth, and emotional clarity, helping you lead a life of purpose and peace. Now is the time to take action. Reflect on these principles and how they can enhance your life. Which areas need more boundaries? Where can you let go of unhealthy attachments? How can you build your inner resilience and happiness? Start today by incorporating even one of these ideas, and watch how your life gradually transforms into more profound meaning and fulfillment. If you're ready to continue this journey of self-mastery and personal growth, don't forget to subscribe to our channel for more valuable content on Stoic living. Together, we can build lives of wisdom, strength, and lasting peace. Thank you for being a part of this journey. Let's continue to grow and thrive, one principle at a time.